Bill Gates, Supervisor for District 3. I'm running the meeting here just because I'm physically here. We have Chairman Clint Hickman on the phone. Is that right?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes,
we also have Supervisor Chukri.
Correct.
Thank you. Good morning. Supervisor Sellers.
Yes.
Okay, great. And then we're waiting on, I think Supervisor Gallardo will be joining us here in the room here in just a moment. Thank you everyone for being here. This is an emergency meeting of the Maricopa County Board of Supervisors. We did provide notice this morning, but again, we have not provided the normal 24-hour notice because this is an emergency situation, given the state of emergency that's been declared by Governor Ducey, as well as the national emergency that's been declared by President Trump, of course, in response to the COVID-19 pandemic. Therefore, it's unnecessary to have the normal 24-hour notice for this meeting. This meeting is being held to address changes to be considered by the Board of Supervisors with the HR policies of Maricopa County. So at this time, I'd like to call up our HR Director for Maricopa County, Jan Plank. Jan, thanks for joining us.
Chairman Hickman, Board of Supervisors, County Manager Rich. So we have put together a group of extended policies to deal with the virus, and I'd like to just go over those very briefly. For 60 days, the next 60 days, we're asking the board to authorize up to 10 days of emergency leave with pay for employees who test positive for COVID-19 or who have COVID-19 symptoms, which would be fever, cough, upper respiratory distress. We believe that...
Supervisor Gates?
Yes, Chairman Hickman.
I'm sorry, Jan. Jan, can you please sit closer to a microphone?
Sure. Can you hear me now?
You're really...
You know what?
Really echoing.
You know, I don't know if we move this over.
How about if she sits next to you?
Yeah, that's great.
And then you can just pull your mic a little bit this way.
Great idea.
This one?
Yes, right there. I think that should be better.
Awesome. Chairman Hickman, can you hear me now?
That's perfect. Thank you.
Thank you. So we're asking the board today to approve exceptions to our employee leave and teleworking policies to address the COVID-19 epidemic as it relates to our employee population. We're asking for you to authorize 10 days of emergency leave with pay for employees who test positive for COVID-19 or who have COVID-19 symptoms, and that's on the direction of public health. We're also asking for your approval to allow employees to use their sick leave to care for dependent children while schools are closed due to the COVID-19 pandemic. Employees who are authorized to telework by their appointing authority may do so and watch their dependent children at the same time. This is generally not allowed by policy, but we're asking for that exception. And then employees who have exhausted their vacation time and sick leave may borrow up to 80 hours of paid leave from future accruals to care for their dependent children. And then custodial parents, custodial step-parents, custodial grandparents raising minor children. So this is designed for those who are the primary caregiver and the child or dependent disabled adult is in their home. We're asking for them to be able to be eligible for the teleworking and paid leave options that I just reviewed. And finally, employees exhibiting symptoms that mirror those of COVID-19, the fever, the cough, etc. We are asking, requiring them to stay home until 72 hours after symptoms clear, and they would be available, the emergency leave pay with pay would be available to them.
Jan, thank you very much for walking through that for us. Questions, Chairman Hickman and the rest of the board?
Supervisor Gates?
Yes. Supervisor Sellers?
I like all of this. I do think that it's important that when we notify the media, we make it clear that the 10 days really provides 14 days with weekends included.
Yeah, that's a great question. So is that accurate? That's 10 business days or 10 work days?
Correct.
Okay, thank you. Other questions or comments? And just wanted to note for the record that Supervisor Gallardo has joined us now in the room. If there aren't any questions or comments, would entertain a motion at this time.
Bill, I would make the motion to approve the change in county policy.
Okay, we have a motion. Do we have a second?
I'll second the motion, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you, Supervisor Gallardo. Ms. Plank.
Just for clarification, we're actually not changing the policy. We are voting on an exception to these policies.
Okay, important clarification. Thank you. Other questions?
So moved. So moved.
Excellent. So we've moved that with the revision as stated by Ms. Plank. Does the second agree to that?
I will second it again.
Okay, excellent. Other comments or questions? Again, on behalf of the whole board, I just want to thank everyone who has been working throughout the weekend here at Maricopa County to address this unprecedented situation. And I think that these exceptions to the policy that have been brought forward by HR are very forward-thinking and exactly what we need to do to keep our employees safe and allow our employees to continue to provide essential services throughout our community. So I just want to thank everyone on the team here for all the work that they've been doing over the weekend. So we have a motion and a second. All in favor, please say aye.
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 All opposed? All right, I think that was unanimous from what I heard on the phone. And unless there's anything else to be brought in front of the board, with that, this meeting is adjourned. Thank you.